Hey all, here OS Reviews. Today we're taking a closer look at the Jack Power Portable Power Station. This is a 27,000 milliamp hour capacity power bank that comes with a wide range of I/O inclusive of a full-size regular AC plug, which is pretty rare to find on power banks. That means if you're using a laptop that doesn't charge using, say, USB Type-C, you can still plug in your regular charger that you would typically into the wall on this power bank and still charge it. In addition, you can power appliances when you're camping and just plug it in and supply power to it. A very versatile connection. It also has a USB Type-C port that can supply up to 45 watts, so it can also be used, the Type-C port, for charging up your laptop, also your smartphones with fast charging. Then there's two standard USB Type-A full-size ports, just like other power banks. It sells for under $100, which is a little bit more pricey compared to other power banks that are lacking this full-sized AC input, but could be worthwhile if you are planning on charging, again, laptops or devices that don't have a conventional USB plug. It also has what they call as a cooling design that has a small fan that can kick in to prevent the battery from overheating. You can charge a maximum of 4 devices at once. It charges up a MacBook and most laptop computers about 2.5 times when on the road, and has enough juice for charging the iPhone 11 and other smartphones around 6 to 7 times. So pretty good in terms of just taking with you on a short road trip or when you're camping. The power bank itself, by the way, can be charged up in around 4 hours, which is decent. And inside we have, of course, the unit itself along with a charging adapter. Now, the one that they give you is using a proprietary round plug. However, the power bank can also be charged or input using standard USB Type-C. So you have two options there. So taking a closer look, the entire body here is made out of a polycarbonate plastic but feels pretty sturdy. On the front here we do have a very bright backlit LCD display, which is actually very useful. It shows off a number of information, including how many hours it has remaining in the capacity, which will intelligently change as you are charging and plugging in different items. So for instance, if you're charging multiple devices at once, the hours will go down more quickly. So if I hold on this for a few seconds, for instance, we should see the LED light here on the side bring on to life, and that means that this part will be turned on, and now we can plug in a full-size plug and begin drawing power. You also hear the fan begin to turn on to life, just to prevent the device from overheating when it's providing, again, up to 85 watts with this port. Just to show something small, I have a small kind of night light here that I can turn on to life by kind of dimming the lights here, and you can see it's working fine without any problems. Or some kind of laptop, you can also plug it in and that will also function. Aside from that, we have the two standard USB Type-A ports, which supply a maximum of 5 watt 3 amps. And then on the right-hand side is where we have the Type-C port, which again works with both input and output. So for charging the power bank, as well as charging a laptop, that will get you 45 watts efficiently. And when you're using the Type-C port, the fan can also be turned off, since it doesn't heat up quite as much with 45 watts. A very simple design that we have here. Now, as a quick size comparison, here is one from Aukey that's called the Y24. Also charges up using Type-C, but doesn't have the standard AC or DC plug. This one here has a similar capacity, a little bit smaller, at around 26,000 milliamp hours. The Aukey is a little bit smaller overall. The thickness is pretty similar. It's also a little bit longer, but it's not too far off, I'd say, considering that this does have more ports and has that display on the front, which the Aukey is missing. Let's try using the Type-C port, and that's going to be the fastest way to charge up most kind of computers, laptops, as well as supported smartphones. So we have it plugged into our laptop here, and you can see the charging indicator has popped onto life. The display here will also turn on and tell us that we are currently drawing 25 watts right now, and our current capacity of the power bank is at 100%. It can run for about 3 hours. We can also charge up a smartphone using the same Type-C port, and that will just enable rapid charging. With a phone, I do expect the kind of wattage here to go down a bit, and in this case it will last for over 12 hours before the battery completely drains. In this mode, I'm using a standard USB Type-A port here to charge up the smartphone, so charging 2 devices at once. This is a smart charger in the sense that it's not going to overheat or overcharge your device once one device reaches 100%. For example, this plug, it will turn off the switch, but the other device will continue charging until it reaches full. Android or iPhones will charge up in under 2.5 hours, and if you're charging up a laptop, it will typically be charged in under 3 hours. Now charging another device, and actually it's going to work again just fine, and the charging rate isn't disrupted. Even if you're charging multiple devices at once, they're still getting pretty quick speeds. This is probably my favorite power bank here in 2020 just because of its sheer availability of ports. And you have more diverse adapters that don't typically work with standard USB. This is going to be a great backup option and one to consider to take with you when on the road. You can check out more details if you're interested in the links down below, but for now that's been our video. That's been the very versatile Jack Power Portable Power Station.